one of the things I really remember about Brynn was she was very mature for a fifth grader and very passionate about what she was doing. And she wrote in her application letter that my transition from childhood to adulthood started from day one. And that's really kind of reiterated what I saw with her. She challenged herself and she loved to read, and she was really a true friend to the fifth grade girls. So in fifth grade, I had them write letters to themselves, and I kept them. So I send them to them when they are graduating. So interesting that one of the things I always thought about Brynn was her friendship with others. So I have a testimony from her BFF, L. I'm not sure what L means. BFFL?
Best friends for life. For life. Best friends for life.
Okay, so I'm not up on my window, but so this was I just felt this was just a testimony to Brynn. So, dear BMI, how are ya? Or no, how's ya? How's ya? Thanks for being an awesome BFFL. Where should I start? Well, first of all, you're kind to others and care for them too. You're super duper smart and very pretty and really random, but in an awesome way. You're also really funny. I really, really, really hope we get in at least one class together next year. A BFFL takes care of you if you're hurt or you're struggling in a subject or something. Wait a minute, I gotta read that again. It takes care of you if you're hurt or you're struggling in a subject or something. A best friend makes you laugh when you're about to cry or feeling down. Oh yeah, did I tell you that best friend is you? So, and there were actually other kids that wrote about Brynn being just that deep friendship. So, another thing I thought about Brynn was her kind of that maturity level. In her letter she wrote, when you were in your early years, you loved horses and dolphins. So everything she wrote, it was like from this adult view, just her outlook on life. But she wrote also her plans for the future, and her plans in fifth grade at any rate were, when I grow older, I want to be a pediatrician or a radiologist. I hope to have good grades and go far in life. In high school, I want to be challenged. I want to take a good math class and reading class. I want to live in Minnesota and settle down here. I want to get married and have 3 kids. Sincerely, Brynn. And perfectly, of course, written paragraphs, spelling, everything, capital letters, everything necessary. But, so anyway, I was thinking about after I read her application and just that, I'm not sure about her becoming a pediatrician. Not anymore. Her love of language really took over, and she's currently the only non-native trilingual student at Rosemont High School. And I mean, just when I read about her gift of language and love of language, so it was amazing. And I'm going to turn that over to Eric.
Yeah, my name's Eric Hensel. I'm the Spanish teacher at Diamond Path, and I had Brynn in Spanish when she was in 5th grade. And kind of what I'm talking about, Pam had touched kind of about Brynn's language ability, and there's kind of 2 aspects about Brynn and language that I really want to talk about: her courage and kind of just her real ability in language. So when I had Brynn in 5th grade, it was my 2nd year teaching Spanish, and I kind of didn't have a lot of my routines established yet. And one of the things that I proposed to students was I said, would anybody be interested in doing plays in Spanish? And there'll be some in English and in Spanish, but I didn't really know how we were going to do this. I didn't know how it was going to work. And maybe 15 kids kind of volunteered to come in before school and practice them. Brynn was one of them. And we worked on these plays and did these plays. And afterwards I thought, I can't believe that they agreed to do this, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing. And for them to really take the courage and put themselves in that situation was great. And we still do Spanish plays 9 years later, and they're a big kind of production now. We have way more kids that are involved in them. And if that first group of kids that Brynn was in had kind of not had the courage to do that, and they would have said no, I would have never done them the next year. So that, putting herself in that situation where she's unfamiliar, is something that really benefits you as a language learner, and will get her in a lot of great places. And as she's matured as a Spanish learner, she's put herself into other situations kind of around the community and around the world. She volunteered several times at Adams Spanish Immersion in St. Paul, and the language that they use in Spanish immersion schools is really advanced, and it's the fact that she's able to do that and work in those schools is amazing. She also was on a mission trip to El Salvador, and she used her Spanish in orphanages, disadvantaged neighborhoods, and schools. So that courage that she had when she was here at Diamond Path, and that she's here using around the world, will take her to other great places. I mean, that's something that really you need as a language learner. You can't be afraid. You always have to kind of go to other places and use your abilities. And then Pam had kind of touched on her, not just her Spanish, but her French. I was surprised that she had taken as much French as she did. I want to go through, let's see. So her college and the schools work this past year. I was going to talk about how much college and the schools work she did, but when I looked down, it said it was in French. And I thought, you know, when I was in school, I didn't take college in the schools even in Spanish, and she is in her third language taking college in the schools in French. And when she had a Spanish teacher at RHS that kind of recommended her to take French, and kind of noticed that she was really a language kid, someone really that grasped language, grasped the concepts of learning language very easily. And because he noticed that when she was a freshman, he said, you should teach yourself French over the summer. So when she was a sophomore, she had taught herself enough French over the summer to get into French too. So this is somebody who really knows language, and really it is very easy for them. So kind of that combination of knowing languages and being able to put yourselves in unfamiliar spots will bring Brynn to some amazing places. So congratulations, you have a great journey ahead of you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you so much.